Here we go, guys. Just a real quick video on why majority of people that get into altcoins, crypto, especially this season, believe it or not, during the bull cycle, they actually lose more money than they put in the market. Now, how in the world is that possible? Well, number one is that they put more time and effort and energy into planning their vacation, in detail than they do, when to enter a particular altcoin or even Bitcoin, and then, how to hold, do they hold, and then also when to sell. I mean, anyone can buy. And the trick is knowing how and when to sell, okay? Because there's only two types of investors, two types of traders in the market, whether you're looking at the stock market, altcoins, crypto, whatever. Okay, and that is you have the withdrawers and the depositors. Okay, now the depositors are probably 90% of the market. All right, they're always putting money into the market because their accounts are going low and they need to put more money in to build it up, or they're underwater in their altcoins and they need to buy more, at lower prices in order to kind of try to average out. And then the withdrawers are the ones that know where the location is on the chart to get in. They know what an event candle is. They know what a stop loss is. Those three things, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the people out there. And this is a savage market, quite honestly. Okay. It's a savage, area, zone, however you want to say it, to try to make money in. And you have to have experience. Okay. Now, we call it a dummy tax, and I probably paid more into the dummy tax than most anybody out there, meaning I didn't have the proper training, education, the skills, or anything to back up what I was doing. And I was just, taking money, throwing it into the market, hoping it'd go up. And you can look at the 90-90-90 rule, and it states that 90% of the investors lose 90% of their money within 90 days, okay? And in the crypto market, it's probably even higher than that. But let's, enough with the negative stuff. Let's flip positive and try to help you, know a few techniques, skills, the methodology to help you do well. Anyway, here's Bitcoin. Here's the daily chart. And back here for our Patreon group, we called it the bottom for Bitcoin in this next run up that we're in now was going to be in this area here, basically 18,000. Okay. Now we did come back down, and then you probably saw on X, if you follow me there, that if we had taken out this low pivot here, that's how they were going to get us to that whole round even number of 100,000. And really thought we'd have a bigger dip here in September because historically, statistically, September's the worst month, of the year. And then, August is not that great either. So you have two down months, and then you can spring up for the next 2 or 3 months, October, November, December, okay? Because you can't jump up unless you squat down. Your kids jumping on the trampoline can't go higher unless they push that thing down. Same with a slingshot, whatever. Okay, you get the point. So August, September down, and normally September is more of a red month, deeper, lower month than August even. Okay, then October you see what's going on here. Now, why did Bitcoin run up to this high pivot and start pulling back? Well, that was previous resistance. See the red candle? Price halted right here right around that 24,000, then pull back. And then when we hit it again, to try to get up and over the all-time high, 70% of the time, 90% of the people don't know this, but 70% of the time, when an asset, doesn't matter if it's a stock, gold, silver, Bitcoin, obviously, altcoins, when they try to make a new all-time high after previously hitting it, 70% of the time it has to pull back. Okay. So this is our price path. I'm giving you a little bit of inside information here from our Patreon group that you can join, learn how to do this on your own. But anyway, we have a little high pivot through here, here, over here. All these areas were previous what? Resistance. Okay. All through here. All right. So now we're looking for them to be support as price pulls back. Okay, so we're looking for that 1, 2, 3 push to the upside. Okay, so we're expecting a pullback. Now, if we don't get that pullback, at least to the blue dash line, that would mean that the market is extremely, I would call it over bullish, okay? And you really don't want that. You don't want to go just straight up parabolic. You kind of want to go, quite frankly, kind of a 45-degree angle there with pullbacks into the 20, like this on the way. That's a lot more healthy, of a market of a pullback. Okay. So let's look at Ethereum, for example, as a altcoin. We'll use this as our test study here, case study today. Because everyone's heard of Ethereum, biggest market cap altcoin, so on and so forth. But as you can see, I can't get into it too much here, don't have time, but the white arrows are a significant place to scale in. In other words, slowly start putting money into the market, just like we slowly pull money out of the market as we're reaching the top, okay? And each one of those areas, locations, like we like to call them, are very high odds, very high probability that you're going to have success with that entry. Okay, they're in the right location. You've heard of location, location, location in real estate. Well, it's the same thing in the stock market or crypto market. It's the same methodology, same technique, same system. Finding that best location on the chart. Then next, like in real estate, really timing the market, buying at the right time in the right location increases your odds and probability, even that higher. Okay. So as you can see here, then Ethereum broke this up trend line, traded sideways, came back in. Remember on Bitcoin, we were talking about those high pivots, previous resistance, because it couldn't go further up, would now, many times provide support, which we did here. And then off that location, event candle, and see that previous resistance here is obviously, causing a little hesitation, a little resistance currently for uh, Ethereum. Then we had the 1, 2, 3 breakout. So we're looking for a little pullback, and your altcoin should, follow respectively that same pattern. Okay. So the main points that I want to come out here with is that plan your strategy. Okay. Know the location, know the event candle, know how to put in a stop loss when you go to enter. Okay. It doesn't matter stock, crypto, altcoin, whatever, and then have a game plan, look left, and know where the low pivots, high pivots are for potential resistance as you move up in order to maybe scale out a little bit, take a little profit, or maybe that is or could be the top of the market. Now, for the altcoins, I don't think that is right now. I think we have a little bit of a run here ahead of us, an incredible run, as a matter of fact. But not financialized, anything and everything could go to zero. You know how that is. So if you'd like to learn how to, do this and be updated on this type of stuff, day by day, uh, come and check us out over on Patreon. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment below, and we will see you on the charts.